Welcome, Follies performers, to the 2020 State Finals Virtual Technical Workshop. I'm Rita Roy, Chairperson of your North Carolina Senior Games Board of Directors. Usually you would see me as a stage director or an assistant to our musical technician during state finals. Unfortunately, this year we cannot be together in person, and for that we're very disappointed. But you need to know that your North Carolina Senior Games staff has done a lot of work to make sure that our Senior Games participants and our silver artists do become state finals participants this year. There will be a Follies show. You will get details from others later on in this workshop on how to create your best video. But basically what you will need to do is send in a video to be judged as you did in your local games. These videos will then be used to create a 2020 virtual Silver Arts Follies show. This will include an MC, your MC, Beth Wilson, and awards will be presented, and it will be judged. All you have to do is submit your video by the registration deadline of September 1st. You'll be able to mail in your video through a flash drive or upload it to our Google Drive. Steve Jones, our technical director, will give you the information you need to create your best video performance. But before I turn it over to Steve, I just want to say thank you for participating. Thank you for keeping the Senior Games Silver Arts spirit alive. I can't wait to see your creativity, and I know this will be a great show. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We look forward to seeing you at State Finals Follies. And now your technical director, Steve Jones.
Thanks, Rita. Since this year's show is completely virtual, we are relying on your video submissions. In order to make the show the best that it can be, we have a few pointers for you. Some are general pointers for everyone, and some are specific to vocal, instrumental, dance, and comedy drama subcategories. First and foremost, be safe. If you're having someone else record your performance, please make sure that they are maintaining proper social and physical distancing. No special camera is needed to make your video. If you have an iPhone, an iPad, or an Android phone, you're all set. The newer your device, the better. If you have a stand or tripod that holds your device, that's great. If not, you'll want to hold it as still and steady as you can. You also want to make sure that your device is shooting in landscape or sideways so that the picture is wider than it is tall. When you get ready to record your video, please choose a quiet, well-lit location. We need to be able to clearly hear you speaking or singing, so choosing a place without background noise works best. You also want to make sure that the light source is in front of or above you, not behind you. The background that you choose doesn't matter too much unless you choose to incorporate it into your performance. The video that you submit should be one continuous, unedited performance of 3 minutes or less. When you record, don't worry about starting your video immediately before the act begins or stopping it as soon as the performance is over. We will take care of editing out any extra time from your video.
Here are some tips if you are participating in the dance category. We need to be able to see you from head to toe throughout your performance. A stable, wide shot is great, but if the camera moves to follow you, please make sure that you stay in frame. If you're dancing to music, please make sure that we can clearly hear your music throughout the performance. Your 3 minutes begin at the first note of your music or your first motion and ends at the last note of your music or when your dance ends, whichever occurs last.
You are my sunshine.
If you are a vocalist, here are your tips. If you are performing with music, please make sure we can hear it, but it shouldn't be louder than you are when you're singing. We need to hear you. If you have an accompanist, we would like to see them in the frame, but please make sure to socially distance. And don't forget that they must also register as a participant. Your time begins at the first note of your music or when you begin to sing, and ends at the last note of your music or when you stop singing, whichever occurs last. Instrumentalist, here are your pointers. If you are performing to a backing track, please make sure we can hear it, but it shouldn't be louder than your instrument. If your instrument is really loud, please try to position yourself far enough away from the camera so that the sound does not get distorted. Feel free to record a test video and review it yourself before you submit your final recording. Your time begins at the first note you play or when your backing track starts and ends at the last note of your music or backing track, whichever occurs last.
Okay.
And now for comedy drama participants. If you are performing with music or sound effects, please make sure we can hear them, but make sure that they are not louder than you are if you are talking during your act. If you're using props or other items as part of your act, please make sure that we can see them. Remember, your time starts when you first speak or your act begins and ends at your last word or when your act is over, whichever occurs last.
Once you finish recording your video, please follow the instructions listed on the North Carolina Senior Games website to ensure that you are submitting it correctly and on time. This year will certainly be a different experience for all of us, but thanks to your cooperation, it will still be just as special. Also, special thanks to our volunteers, Jordan and Daisha, for their assistance with this video.